What's going on, everyone? Welcome to yet another episode of the Schoch Factor Podcast, where this week we got a very exciting one. We are joined by a Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. He confirmed that I am saying that right, so I'm very excited to say it. Derek Bender. Derek, how are you doing today?
Great. It's been an awesome day so far, showing you around the palace. Excited to be on board today.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. Thank you for being a great tour guide. I know being a college baseball player, getting recruited, you probably aren't like, okay, well, how am I gonna recruit people, show them around, tour them around? But it translated well. You did a great job.
I appreciate that.
What is your favorite part of this field?
There's so many different aspects about this place, but the boardwalk is like, if I were to put myself in like a fan's shoes, like the boardwalk is so cool.
Yeah, if I were a fan, well, I am a fan, and I will be on the boardwalk at some point this spring. That's just a must. It's such a cool area.
Really is.
And nowhere else in college baseball has like that setup, from my understanding, where it makes as much sense too, being near Myrtle Beach and everything.
For sure.
It's just great.
Just so, par for the course here.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm blown away by the facilities here. But I want to get into your story a little bit more. So coming out of high school, you said you always wanted to come to Coastal,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yeah.
What was it about Coastal that drew you to having that desire?
Man, watching them win a national championship from a conference like the Big South, just being the underdog, being somebody that, everybody like kind of wrote off as like, oh, this team, they'll win maybe one game in Omaha, right? Like watching that whole team and what they went through in their journey was just so exciting. And just watching that made me really, really fall in love with the program, the school, and just this was my dream school. And to even get the opportunity to come on a camp here and get an offer here and then ultimately commit and play baseball here is just so surreal and just a dream come true.
Yeah, no, so walk us through that getting the offer process, because of course anyone can have the desire to go anywhere, but to actually make it happen, how'd you go about doing that?
Knew the right people. My uncle used to scout for the Braves, and his boss knew Coach Schnall here, so that kind of even got me in the door. Came to a lot of camps. I think I was a 5 or 6 time camper here.
Oh,
so that was a big influence into what ultimately led the coaching staff to offer me. And that was really it. I came to camp, played well at a couple tournaments they were at, and they gave me the opportunity to play here and kind of made the most of it so far.
Sure. So when was the first camp you attended at Coastal Carolina?
Labor Day camp, my 8th grade year.
Okay. All right.
Labor Day camp.
Early on.
I have a video on my Instagram of me hitting a home run there, and Coach Schilling, who we met earlier, who's our volley, giving me like a fist bump after me hitting the home run there.
Now, after you hit that home run, what was the feeling like? Were you like, okay, it's going to happen now?
I don't know. That was like 13,
yeah, that's fair.
14.
It's been a while.
I think that's 6 years ago?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a while.
It's a while. I didn't know how long the home runs stick with you, You've hit a lot since then, so it can become a blur.
Oh, man.
Especially here. I mean, you got a hold of them.
Ball does fly here. I will tell you that.
So when did they first offer you to when did you commit?
So like my freshman year, right? Like going into my freshman year. Yeah.
And so you were just like, no, I always wanted it.
Yeah.
Like this is going to happen.
No, didn't have any other offers. Didn't barely went anywhere else for even like a camp.
So what's it like playing high school baseball after you're already like, okay, everybody's trying to get recruited. Everybody's trying to get their name out there. I've already done that. I'm committed to my dream school. Now it's just a matter of working hard so when I get there, I'm not behind. So what was it like actually doing it though?
So much fun, relaxing. I had this slogan in high school called "Make Baseball Fun Again." And I kind of brought it back this summer when I was on the Cape. There's an article, one of our guys, Mojo Hill, shout out Mojo. Awesome,
what a name. Great.
Yeah. Awesome. He was one of our writers. He put an awesome article for me, and I'm forever in debt because that article was so awesome. But "Make Baseball Fun Again" was my article, was my little slogan I had playing on the circuit after I committed, because you're so wrapped up in this coach, that coach, these looks, these offers, where that kid's going, right? of just playing for the fun of the game,
Yeah.
it was so much fun after that. Like just running dead hard to grab foul balls down the line, or like, hey, you want to see where a 60 time translates? And you just sprint from the first base side dugout to left field and back. It's the only time 60 yards straight ever plays.
You're honestly not wrong. I never even thought about that, but that's probably like the only way you actually fit it in on a practical way.
Exactly.
But I love that you have that mindset, because I feel like guys in high school, like, they have all this pressure of, oh, am I going to get to play at the next level?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where they don't understand, like, whether I play at the next level or not, I might as well have fun with where I'm at, you know?
And that's what I said this summer too, because you just hyperfixate on like, oh my God, that's every scout ever.
Yeah. And when you do that, when you get mindset, bless you,
excuse me,
powerful.
I was trying to like keep that one from coming.
No, you're good. I saw you fighting, and I was like, I'll just start talking, see how he does. But like, that mindset is so powerful. Just like okay, I'm gonna go out and have fun with my friends, and you do that every day, and the days just stack.
Yeah.
And eventually, you're like, wow, I'm way better than I was without even realizing it.
The championship game was such a great example of that. Like in the Cape, we lost a game at home. We won the first game on the road. So that second game, we were like, oh, let's do it here, right? And everybody was so worried about it, and we played awful. So that game, I'm just like, man, we got 9 innings together. This is the last game any of us are gonna play together. Can we just enjoy our time?
Yeah, and
like, enjoy what we have left together.
And look what happens.
Yeah,
it works out pretty well more times than not.
It was so much fun.
But that hyperfixation and that prioritization of fun is just so important.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the most fun thing to do on a baseball field?
That's a great question.
There's a lot of fun options, so I know it's a loaded question.
Mm-hmm. There's so many different things. I'm going to go with like making friends with the other team, honestly.
Oh, that is a good one.
Most of the friends I have are from other teams.
Really?
Like, I'm really good friends with Will Taylor from Clemson, who's a rival. Will Turner from South Alabama, stud. James Tibbs, stud from Florida State. Like, just guys like that I played against. I didn't play with any of them, but we played against them. Like, just know it, like that mutual respect, and then like the friendship you build, like just playing against each other and just competing, and just like those little downtimes where you're like, wow, that guy behind the plate really sucks today, huh? Right? Like stuff like that. So I enjoy that part of the game for sure.
And I feel like that's such a good fit for you too. Like, if you were just staying in right field all game, it's like, okay, how do you make friends with the other team? But being a first baseman, you got to be diplomatic. I feel like.
Sometimes that, and there have been a couple guys. I'm sorry to anybody I did this to last year, where you kind of lull them to sleep. You fake them out. Like Bryce Schaefer on our team's got the nastiest pickoff move ever, and you just kind of fake them out, and you get them just like, sorry, dude. He's walking back to the dugout and then throwing it around, getting hyped.
Just like, look, that's part of the game, though. And
Yeah.
they understand. No one's gonna be like, oh man, this guy. Like, they might, but it's by the time the inning's over, it's like,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
I never got picked off, never got on base, but never got picked off, so I don't know the exact feeling of it. But I can't imagine it's fun.
Yeah.
But if I am gonna get picked off, I'd like to see a friend like Derek there applying the tag. You know, someone else having a good time while it's happening.
Yeah, it's fun.
So your favorite thing is just meeting other players.
Oh, 100%.
Talking to other players.
Yeah.
Who is, if you had to select only one, who's your favorite player you never played with, always played against them?
Man, that's a tough one too. There's a lot of people that are gonna really, really like hold on to my answer forever.
You don't have to answer then. We don't have to do it.
No, I can. My favorite player, just like all around, like Joe Yama.
Oh, good answer.
He like, just some about him, just like he was always like the best dude ever. Like he'd see me and be like, "Oh, what's up, Bender? Dude, you rake, man, you rake." And I'm just like, dude, like, I love you, bro. Like, what? Like,
no, he's like such a ball of energy on the field, so it makes me happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Like, you want people to be like,
I know Aaron Fitt is losing his mind after that comment. He loves Joe.
Oh, yeah. But they all do. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, he's such a like hard guy to like not fall in love with. Sorry to Will and James. Like, I love you guys to death, but Like, you guys aren't Joe. So sorry
That's
about
fair.
it.
I mean, Joe Oyama, he's a short king. He's fun to watch. He's a fun guy to be around.
And throughout it all, like, it's never personal. Like, he never is like that guy that you're like,
yeah,
screw that guy.
He's like the type of player who just like goes out and plays some of the best fundamental baseball.
Yeah,
like
so
he's
much
not
fun.
he's not in your face about it. He'll do it quietly if need be, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Now, moving from high school to college, going back a little bit here, what was the transition like for you? You know, competing at the high school level compared to competing at the college level.
Not even comparable. Like, I was so unready.
Mm-hmm.
I was so bad my freshman fall, and even like my whole freshman year, I was just awful.
All right.
Game sped up. I failed a lot. I drowned. Like, threw me in the water, tried to swim. I drowned.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Everybody needs that experience
100%.
at some point, baseball wise.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say got you through that time, though?
Man, getting into the summer, playing for my manager, James Beerline, for the Tri-City Chili Peppers, he really helped me. Yeah, what a name, right? Yeah.
Phenomenal name.
Yeah, really helped me get through, like, kind of that, like, lull of the game, kind of, like, made me fall in love with the game again, and really come to terms with, like, who I was, like, as a ball player. And after that, just really taking hold of, like, self-awareness stuff, self-confidence stuff, who I was off the field, to really, really help the guy on the field.
Sure. And I feel like when you do that and you get that introspective, like off the field, then when you get on the field, you don't have to do it. You just go out and play.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of that going out with the clear head sort of thing, just remembering to have fun with the game of baseball.
100%.
I love to hear that because you are just saying everything, I believe, right now. So you are nailing it, podcast interview wise. Just by the way, got to interject. But moving along, you have your freshman year, and then your sophomore year is where you really start like, this guy is playing like he's figured it out. So was it just that playing loose that really kind of got you there?
Playing unapologetically my game. Like, I wore this shirt today, and it says, "Why would I care what you think? I don't want to be anything like you."
That's fair.
And that's kind of was the whole, like mantra of, like, this thing is, like, I am who I am. Mm-hmm. I know what I do well, and I'm going to do that. Whether it's your strength or your weakness or my strength or my weakness, I'm aware of that. And I'm going to use that to my advantage, and that's who I was.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And I remember so before the interview, I read the Mojo Hill article. Great article. But my favorite quote was, "I know what I do good." What is it that you do good? What, baseball wise, and then off the field, what else are you good at?
I would say I hit off speed really well.
Okay.
Like, very technical. I punish off speed. But off the field, I think, like, just really good at just doing, how would I say it? Like, I would say doing whatever I want, but just, like, being, like, just very carefree.
I love that.
And, like,
you're good at not giving too much of a crap.
Right.
And things you don't need to give a crap about.
Exactly. Like, pay my rent on time, probably need to give a crap about that. Mm-hmm. Like, what people think about me, like, for the most part, like, doesn't really, like...
Yeah, can't really control it.
Yeah, right? Like, I'm going to live my life how I live, you know? Whether people like it or not, it's not really up to me. I can't really control how they feel.
Yeah, no. And why would you? Right. You know? It's like, you don't have superpowers. You don't need to do that.
Right.
It's like they feel how they feel.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's such a great message for baseball players out there because, I mean, you spend too much time thinking about, like, oh, according to the unwritten rules, I can't do this or I can't do that. As soon as you start thinking about what you can't do, the list just goes on and on of what you can't do. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
Right. I would say this, though. My manager this summer, Scott Landers, who I will forever respect. Like, he's one of the best guys that I've seen manage a team in a playoff series and, like, in a pressure situation. He's one of the best I've ever seen do it, which was incredible to see. And he taught me a very valuable lesson because as much as I want to sit here and preach this, like, I don't care what others think, right? Like, that was who I was this past spring. But he taught me this really important lesson of, you know, intention versus perception. In a team atmosphere, and especially a successful team atmosphere, you know, intentions are great, but perception is even more important. So, like, understanding, like, how stuff is perceived, because, like, not everybody can see your intention.
Sure.
people see your perception, right? That
Okay.
is
Yeah, that
what
makes
perception
sense.
is to a definition, right? Like understanding that and being more aware of that has even made me more aware of that stuff, and that to me is more important because like my intentions could be in the right spot, but the perception of it means way more to the team. And I think for me, like my ultimate goal is to win baseball games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I like could give two shits about my personal successes if we don't, we don't do what we do, right?
Exactly.
We don't
Yeah.
win baseball games. Like I watched another team dogpile on my field, right? Like throw all the records, throw all the accolades out the window. Like we won a championship. I could care less about everything else.
Exactly. And that's like, I feel like for a college team to be successful, as long as you have everybody on the same page, the success will come so much easier.
And it's so hard though. That is the hardest job ever.
How would you say you distinguish between the two? Like, what changed for you after having that lesson taught to you?
I wouldn't even say like a lot
Or
changed.
what? Just the awareness,
just the awareness, and just like what like taking a step back and be like, all right, how can I perceive to my teammates that I'm one of us, instead of just being like, oh, here's everybody and here's Derek. It's like, how can I do this, or even just lead in a way where like we're all going the same thing, we're all going to do the same thing. Sure. Just I might be a little in front or a little strayed, right? Because like at the end of the day, like you get to pro ball or you play in that environment where everybody's talented, everybody belongs there. Not everybody's going to be this. You're going to have like this big circle and people are going to be in different spots, right? But it's like, it's like whoever has the tightest circle in a sense is going to have the best team.
Yeah.
Right.
And it makes sense just because people are aligned. Everybody's working towards the same goal. And there's no question of like, oh, why'd you do this? It's because like the answer is always to help the team win.
I want to win a championship.
And now you don't have to ask, oh, why'd you do that? It's just operating under the understanding.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
We're going to win because this happened more. Now, in college, you've had success. You've played all over the world. You played for the Chili Peppers. You played up in the Cape for the Braves. You played as a Chanticleer. What has been your favorite ever baseball memory?
I'd say like, winning a championship in the Cape was really, really cool. My first home run collegiately was really cool. My first hit collegiately, but breaking the home run record in a like not a winner take all game, but in a do or die game for us was pretty surreal. It was awesome.
I've never done that, but I feel like it was probably a sick moment. I can't even imagine like trying to process that, having that success at this level.
Yeah, like if you watch the video back, like I hop around like an idiot.
You should, as you should.
That's why. Every emotion you could ever imagine in one moment. There.
It's like I can't control what's about to happen to me. Like I just did the thing I've always dreamed of doing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so great. But having that success to where you are now, how much do you think has changed since your freshman year? And what would you say the biggest change has been from Derek Bender freshman year to Derek Bender third year junior?
Just how much more comfortable I am with myself. Like at the end of the day, like it's you and the man in the mirror. And the most successful people in this life, and I don't mean successful as like they make the most money or they sell the most cars or they have the most hits and ever. It's just the people who, because my definition of success is like living life with no regret. The people that are the most successful and live the happiest lives in that perspective is the people that are the most comfortable with themselves. And I think right now I am the most comfortable I've ever been in life. And that doesn't mean I don't want to get more comfortable because of course, like you learn stuff out about yourself every day. And for me, that is the biggest difference from myself freshman year to myself now is I'm so much more comfortable with myself to where I'm so much more aware of what I need and what I want. And I'm able to communicate that. I'm able to, show that. I'm able to do that stuff. So,
yeah. I mean, just looking at the development, did you ever as a freshman go, hey, by junior year, I'm going to be named the 29th overall top 100 prospect for the 2024 draft by Division I baseball?
No.
Did you ever think that?
No. I didn't think professional baseball was a thing. I didn't even think college baseball was a thing. I thought I was going to get cut by freshman year.
Really?
Yeah.
And then
I should have.
You just were like, hey, I'm going to be charismatic, make sure everybody likes me.
I honestly no, I was in a hole my freshman year. I lived at home. Like I was very taken. I was just like I need to get out of here. Like I don't have any business being here. But like I said, my manager, my summer ball team, like really, really, really helped me fall in love with the game again, and just fall in love with myself. Like just be okay with myself, which was awesome.
Well, it seems to work. You're a pretty okay guy to be okay with because it seems to have worked out pretty well.
I appreciate that.
Now, looking forward to this 2024 season, who are some guys on the Chanticleer roster that we need to know about? I know there's a ton of them. You don't have to do the Miss America thing where you name them all. I promise no one will hate you.
Are you sure I can't name all 40?
I know you can. I know you can if you want. I'm just giving you the warning because people get asked this question. They're like, okay, I'm gonna say Johnny, Jimmy, James, everybody.
I'll give you a starter. I'll give you a reliever.
Wow.
And I'll give you a position player.
I love that.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Cool. Trevor Hinkle, roommate. Shout out him. He's a step cat dad with me.
Okay.
Shout out Luna. We own a cat together. She's the most daredevilish cat ever, but she's the joy of our life. So Trevor Hinkle, is important. Right, exactly. It's actually a 3-way parenting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
co-parenting.
Co-parenting, correct. So Trevor is a grad transfer from Cal State Fullerton, originally from Pepperdine before that. He's somebody that is going to lock down probably one of our weekend rotation arms. Okay. And he's somebody that is nails.
Okay.
Nails.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. You're going to really appreciate this guy. Parker Castle.
Parker Castle.
That's my reliever. He is, if you haven't seen him, you need to do yourself a favor and watch. He is 78 to 81. Yes. He is a knuckle scraper. He throws from literally underhand.
Coastal's always got at least one, and I love that about Coastal.
Grad transfer from Erskine.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Fleet.
The Fleet. Exactly.
You love to see it.
Love that.
That's a gritty guy there.
You're going to love that guy. Great mustache on him, too. His nickname's Spidey.
Love all of that. So, yes. All these things check my boxes.
Right. And the last guy that I'll give you, my position player, Corey Zientek. We saw him on our tour earlier. Fastest man alive.
Speed's fun.
Big sketch guy. Madden player. If you haven't done yourself the favor of watching sketch on Play Madden, you need to check him out. Yeah. Corey Zientek is my position player.
Those are all good answers. I will make a note of that, and I will follow them exclusively. Yes. I will pay extreme attention to them. Now, learning more about yourself, in my research, of course, in high school, you played 4 different instruments. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What 4 instruments were they?
I played trumpet, baritone, tuba, and trombone.
Okay, which were you best at?
Baritone. Well, baritone and trumpet, but I liked baritone the best.
Okay, so baritone was the best one. What was your favorite song to play?
It's so funny you say this. It's part of my pregame playlist. It's a classical song. It's called Second Suite in F by Gustav Holst. It's a 4-part song, and for some weird reason, he loved baritone solos, and I practiced this thing for months. We had a playoff game for baseball, and this was like my freshman year of high school where I wasn't playing on the varsity team, so I thought I was going to go to college for band. Swear to God.
Okay.
And I was like, "Can I play my solo?" And they're like, "No." So I worked countless hours. I never got to play it. That was the last year I ever played band because I got offered and committed that summer for baseball.
So the world never got to experience that solo.
No.
Do you still know it?
That's a great question. I listen to it and I sight read the music all the time. I have not played an instrument since that day.
Hung up the trumpet and baritone.
Hung up the mouthpiece
for good.
For good. In another life, like I'll have a studio in my house where I'll be able to play or like join like a little community band. I'm such a music nerd, dude. Like you have no idea. But yeah, baritone, Second Suite in F. If you really want to take yourself through that journey, you listen to that and just picture me with headphone like beats, like big studio beats on, big eye black that I wear during the season in my locker, listening to that pregame. That's what I do. That's my pregame.
See, that's kind of psycho stuff though. That's why it works. Like I feel like, you go into a locker room, there's 20 guys. listening to rap, hard rock. And there's one guy in the corner listening to like Bach and some guy named Gustav.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I don't want to face that guy. I don't want to face that guy at all.
Yeah, it's fun. It does get a little weird though. And just like, yo, what are you listening to? And then I throw that, and they're like,
Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Now, with the holiday season rapidly approaching, do you like watching Christmas movies?
Love Christmas movies.
What are your favorite Christmas movies?
Can I give it top 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. In no particular order.
Okay.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Elf. And I'm gonna give a new one. The Holdovers. It's in theaters now. It is not. It's brand new, and it is technically a Christmas movie. It is incredible.
Okay.
Incredible.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
It's in theaters. I'd go watch it.
I haven't been stumped on Christmas movies yet until now. So
it's brand new, and I don't know if it's technically a Christmas movie, but it's about like time during Christmas. So
okay, that works for me.
Like if Die Hard's a Christmas movie, this is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, no, that works for me. Yeah. Do you have a favorite like holiday tradition or anything like that?
I don't think like I do really anything around the holidays except like I love working out like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Like I love like those days that nobody's supposed to do anything. Like I love doing stuff because it makes me feel like I'm just getting better than everybody else.
Yeah, it's like when you're doing it, you're like, if they were filming a training montage right now, this would be sick.
Like a Rocky montage, right?
Like I remember working out the eve of Thanksgiving one year, and I was like, this is so sick.
Yeah, but Blackout Wednesday or whatever it's called.
I did tire flips, and I was like, I probably looked so stupid, like an idiot loser. But that's okay, because in my head, that doesn't matter.
In the back of the head, Eye of the Tigers.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, what is Rocky Balboa doing in Stephen Schoch's body? Right. You know?
Exactly.
It's those days where, you aren't supposed to be doing it.
Right.
So
exactly.
What does your off-season workout routine look like? What do you do?
Wake up, piss excellence.
I believe it.
No. Wake up, breakfast, go to the facility, roll out, mobility, hit, lift. Then the rest of the day is kind of really up for life, whatever the wind really wants to take me. Whether it's a movie, could be light shows, love Christmas lights, could be a hockey game, could be an NBA game, could be sit in my bed and watch House all day, could be binge watching The Sopranos. There's so many different things that life could call for me that day. It all depends, but most of the time that morning is baseball and working out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a great balance for it of like, okay, got everything taken care of in the morning. Exactly. It's like your friends who have jobs now that are grown-ups. They do their work and they go and live their life afterwards. So you get the work in, and now you're just chilling for the rest of the day.
Exactly.
For whatever it calls for you. Well, Derek, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for having me on.
I really appreciate it.
It was
I can't
awesome.
Thank you enough for showing us around.
Of course.